So in this video, we're going to look at how to solve quadratic equations. There are three main ways to do this: by factorizing, by completing the square, or by using the quadratic formula. So let's have a look at the first one, solving by factorizing. There are four main steps to do this. First, we need to make sure that x squared is positive. If it's not, then we need to move that to the other side. So we need to make sure that we move everything to one side to make it equal to 0. Then factorize, and then we can solve. We need to make it equal to 0 because that makes it easy for us to work out what x is equal to. So in question A, we have x squared minus 2x is equal to 0. 1. Is x squared positive? Yes, it is. So we don't need to do anything. Is it already equal to 0? Yes, it is. So we don't need to do anything. Is it factorized? No, it's not. So we need to factorize. So let's factorize this. We take out a common factor of x. That leaves us with x minus 2 is equal to 0. And from here, one of these two terms needs to equal to 0. We can see that x has to equal to 0 or 2. If x is equal to 0, then 0 times 0 minus 2 is 0. Or if x is equal to 2, 2 times 2 minus 2, that 2 minus 2 is 0, and 2 times 0 is 0. So there are two answers. X is equal to 0 and 2. Question B. X squared minus 15 is equal to 0. Is x squared positive? Yes, it is. Is everything equal to 0? Yes, it is. Is it factorized? No, so we need to factorize it. There are only two terms. We can't take out a common factor, but it is a difference of two squares. So we're going to set up our brackets to make it equal to 0. We'll square root the first term is x, put our plus sign, put our minus sign. The square root of 15 is just root 15. And now we can work out what x is equal to. X is equal to the opposite sign, negative root 15, or the opposite sign, positive root 15. Okay, question C. There are three terms, which means it is a trinomial. It is monic because the number in front of x squared is 1. The coefficient of x squared is 1. So we ask ourselves, is x squared positive? Yes, it is. Is everything equal to 0? Yes. Is it factorized? No, so we need to factorize it. Cross, cross, x, x. What two numbers multiply to positive 6 but add to negative 5? Those two numbers are negative 2 and negative 3. So when we factorize this, x minus 2, x minus 3 is equal to 0. We know that x therefore has to equal to positive 2 or positive 3. Okay, opposite sign and opposite sign, positive 2 and positive 3. Okay, in question D, we have minus 13x equals 3 minus 10x squared. Number 1, is x squared positive? No, it's not because of that minus sign. That means we need to make x squared positive by moving this entire side to the left-hand side. That kills two birds with one stone. That gets x squared positive, and it makes the right-hand side equal to 0. So let's rewrite this as 10x squared minus 13x minus 3 is equal to 0. Just remember we have to minus 3 and we have to add 10x squared. So we minus 3 and we add 10x squared. Okay, so we get 10x squared minus 13x minus 3 equals 0. 3 terms means it's a quadratic trinomial. That 10 out there means it's a non-monic because we can't factorize out a common factor. So we do our 10 times minus 3 is minus 30. And we're looking for two numbers that multiply to minus 30 but add to minus 13. Those two numbers are minus 15 and positive 2. So now we can split this into minus 15x and positive 2x. Bring down our minus 3. Bring down our 10x squared. Group in pairs. Take out the common factor of 5x to leave 2x minus 3. Put our plus sign from up there. And in brackets we have 2x minus 3. Now we can take out a common factor of 2x minus 3, and what's left over is 5x plus 1. Now it's fully factorized. We have brackets times brackets. It's a binomial product. This makes it easy for us to know what x is equal to. X is equal to opposite sign positive 3 over 2 and opposite sign negative 1 over 5. Question E. X plus 6 over x is equal to x. We don't like fractions, so we need to get rid of the fraction by multiplying by the denominator. So if we multiply both sides by x, we will get x plus 6 is equal to x squared. Is x squared positive? Yes, it is. Is the whole thing equal to 0? No, it's not. So we need to move this side to that side to get x squared is positive and it all equals to 0. So 0 is equal to x squared minus x minus 6. Remember, we have to minus x and minus 6. Okay? From both sides. Trinomial. Monic. So cross cross x x. Two numbers that multiply to negative 6 but add to negative 1 are minus 3 and 2. So when we factorize this, we get x minus 3 times x plus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 3. Remember, opposite sign. Or minus 2. Opposite sign. Question F. Again, I don't like fractions. I'm going to multiply every single term by x. So, times that by x gives us minus 1. X times x is x squared. Minus 2 times x is minus 2x. We have to multiply every term by x. There's two terms on this side, x and minus 2. Is x squared positive? Yes, it is. Is it all equal to 0? No. So I need to move this minus 1 to that side. That will leave us with 0 on the left hand side. Positive x squared minus 2x plus 1. It's a trinomial. Monic. Cross cross x x. Two numbers that multiply to 1 but add to minus 2 are minus 1 and minus 1. So 0 is equal to x minus 1 times x minus 1. Therefore, x is equal to positive 1. Opposite sign, same answer. This is just x equal to 1. Okay. Now let's have a look at how to solve by completing the square. To complete the square, we're going to look at the first two terms. X squared minus 4x. We're going to halve the 4 and then square it. Half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4, so I'm going to add 4. But then we also need to minus 4 to keep it the same. So if we add 4, we have to minus 4, as if nothing had ever happened. Then we need to write this plus 2 is equal to 0. And we notice here that that is a perfect square. So we're going to factorize that as x minus 2 squared. The minus 4 plus 2 is minus 2. And what we notice here is that we have a difference of 2 squares. Here's our difference of 2 squares. Here's one of the squares. Here's another square. So I am going to factorize this. Get my brackets ready. Square root of the first term is x minus 2. Put my plus sign, put my minus sign. Square root of the second term is root 2. And therefore, x is equal to positive 2 minus root 2. So remember, opposite sign, and positive 2 plus root 2. Opposite sign, opposite sign. Now this can be written as 2 plus or minus root 2. Let's have a look at question B. We have x squared plus 3x is equal to minus 1. X squared is positive, but it doesn't equal to 0. So I'm going to move that minus 1 to the other side by adding 1 and making it equal to 0. And now I'm going to complete the square by looking at the first two terms. I'm going to half 3, which is 3 over 2, and I'm going to square that to equal 9 over 4. Now I'm going to, 9 over 4. Because we added 9 over 4, we need to minus 9 over 4. We need to write in that plus 1 equals to 0. And we see that this is a perfect square. We can factorize it to x plus 3 over 2 all squared. This becomes minus 9 over 4 plus 1 minus 5 over 4 is equal to 0. And now we can factorize this. This is a difference of 2 squares. Here's our first square. Here's our second square. Let's prepare our brackets. Square root of the first term is x plus 3 over 2. Put our plus sign, put our minus sign. Square root of the second term is root 5 over 4. Root 5 over 4. Now that it's fully factorized, we can say x is equal to minus 3 over 2 minus the square root of 5 over 4, or minus 3 over 2 plus the square root of 5 over 4, which we can rewrite as minus 3 over 2 plus or minus the square root of 5 over 4. I will go through solving by using the quadratic formula in another video.